students, let us start with next topic, continuity. A function f is continuous at a point z0 if all three of the following conditions are satisfied. First condition is limit z tends to z0 f of z exists. Second is f of z0 exists. And last is limit z tends to z0 f of z is equals to f of z0. Means what? A function is continuous at point z0 if these three conditions are satisfied. Statement 3 says that for each positive number epsilon there exists a positive number delta such that modulus of f of z minus f of z0 is strictly less than epsilon whenever modulus of z minus z0 is strictly less than delta. Okay, let us take note. First, a functions are continuous at a point, then their sum product are also continuous at that point. Their quotient is continuous at any such point if the denominator is not 0 there. Okay. Second is a function of a complex variable is said to be continuous in region R if it is continuous at each point in R. Okay. Let us see theorem. A composition of two continuous function is continuous. Okay. Let us see proof. Let omega is equals to f of z be a continuous at z is equals to z0 and y is equals to g of omega be a continuous at omega 0 which is equals to f of z0. We have to prove that the composite function g composite f is continuous at z0 as omega is equals to f of z is continuous at z0. By definition of continuity, we will get limit z tends to z0 omega is equals to limit z tends to z0 f of z which is equals to f of z0 and f of z0 is nothing but omega 0. We see that as z tends to z0 omega tends to omega 0, so we will get limit z tends to z0 g composite f of z is equals to limit z tends to z0. This g composite f can be written as g of f of z. Okay, limit z tends to z0 f of z, here f of z is omega, so we will get this is g of omega. Limit z tends to z0 g of omega which is equals to g of omega 0. Since z tends to z0 omega tends to omega 0, so this is g of omega 0. This is g of omega 0 is nothing but f of z 0. So here omega 0 is equals to f of z 0. So we will get this g composite f of z 0. So we will get limit z tends to z0 g composite f of z is equals to g composite f of here we will get g of omega 0. Okay, omega 0 is nothing but here f of z0, this omega 0 is f of z0, so we will get g of f of z0. This is g composite f of z0. So limit z tends to z0 g composite f of z is equals to g composite f of z0. So we will get g composite f is a continuous at z0. Therefore composition of two continuous function is continuous. Students, always remember that composition of two continuous function is always continuous. Next theorem is if a function f of z is continuous and non-zero at a point z0, then f of z is not equals to 0 throughout some neighborhood of that point. Means what? If your f is continuous at point z0, then f of z is not equals to 0 in throughout some neighborhood of this z0. Okay. Okay, we will not discuss proof of this theorem. See here, let f of z is equals to u of xy plus I into v of x, where u and v are component functions of f. Then f is continuous at z0 if and only if its component functions are continuous there. If f is continuous at z0 if and only if its component functions u and v are continuous there. Let us see next theorem. If a function f is continuous throughout a region R, that is both closed and bounded, there exists a non-negative real number m such that mod f of z is less than or equal to m for all z in R, where equality holds for at least one such a z. Okay, let us see example. Show that limit z tends to infinity 4z square upon z minus square is equals to 4. See solution of this problem. Limit z tends to infinity. Take z square common from numerator and denominator. So we will get 4z square upon z square. In bracket remains 1 minus 1 upon z bracket square. Z square get cancelled. So we will get this limit equals to 4. These two are also simple. Solve these two examples. Okay. Next is derivatives. Let f be a function whose domain of the definition contains a neighborhood mod z minus z0 strictly less than epsilon of a point z0. The derivative of f at z0 is the limit f dash of z0 is equals to limit z tends to z0 f of z minus f of z0 upon z minus z0, and the function f is said to be differentiable at z0 when f dash of z0 exists. Okay, derivative of function f at point z0 is limit z tends to z0 f of z minus f of z0 upon z minus z0. Okay, and the function is said to be differentiable at point z0 if this f dash of z0 exists. Okay, let us take one remark. What is that? The derivative of f of z at z is equals to z0 is f dash of z0 limit delta z tends to 0 f of z, sorry, here is a delta z, f dash of z0 is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 f of z0 plus delta z upon delta z, sorry, limit delta z tends to 0 f of z0 plus delta z upon delta z minus f of z0. If we write z is equals to z0 plus delta z, then we will get delta z is equals to z minus z0. Also, as delta z tends to 0, z tends to z0. From 1, we write f dash of z0. Here delta z tends to 0, we will get z tends to z0. F of here, and z0 plus delta z is from this, we will get z minus f of z0 upon delta z is z minus z0. Okay. When taking form 2, this form 2 of the definition of derivative, we often drop the subscripts on z0 and introduce the number delta omega is equals to f of z plus delta z minus f of z, which denotes the change in the value omega equals to f of z of f corresponding to change delta z in the point at which f is evaluated. Then if we write d omega upon dz for f dash of z, means for f dash, we write f dash of z is equals to d omega upon dz, then equation 2 becomes d omega upon dz, which is equals to limit z tends to limit here z tends to z0 means delta z tends to 0, and as delta here delta z tends to 0, we will get this f of z minus f of z0. So here we will get limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z. So we will get d omega upon dz is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega. We will get d omega upon dz is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z. Okay. Let us see example. Suppose that f of z is equals to z square at any point z. Limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z. We will use here definition of derivative. Delta omega is nothing but f of z plus delta z minus f of z. Okay. So limit delta z tends to 0. Here f of z is z square. Okay. So delta omega is f of z plus delta z minus f of z. So this becomes z plus delta z square minus z square upon delta z. Okay. Now limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0. Simplify this. You will get limit delta z tends to 0 to z plus delta z. As delta z tends to 0, we will get this is equals to 2. So derivative of f of z is equals to z square is equals to 2z. Let us see next example. If f of z is equals to z bar, then delta omega upon delta z is equals to z plus delta z bar is minus z bar upon delta z, because our delta omega is nothing but f of z plus delta z minus f of z. Okay. And here our f of z is z bar. So delta omega becomes z plus delta z bar minus z bar. Okay. Which is equals to bar of z. Here bar means it is a conjugate. Okay. So this is z bar plus delta z bar minus z bar. Z bar minus z bar get cancelled. So remains delta z bar upon delta z. So we will get limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 delta z bar upon delta z. Okay, suppose this is the equation 4. See here students, as delta z approaches 0, 0, which is vertically through the point delta x0 on the real axis, delta z bar becomes, here imaginary part is 0. So delta z bar becomes delta x plus I0 bar, which is equals to delta x bar minus I0 bar. I0 this is 0, so no need to write down it. So we will get delta z bar is equals to delta z, because it is a real part. Okay. So from this 4 we will get limit delta z tends to 0 delta omega upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0. Delta z bar is nothing but here delta z. So this is delta z upon delta z, which is equals to 1. Okay. When delta z approaches 0, 0 vertically through the points 0, delta y on the imaginary axis. Okay. So that delta z bar, this approaches vertically through the points 0, delta y on the imaginary axis, means real part here is 0. So here is only I delta y. This is a bar. Okay. Which is equals to 0 bar minus I delta y. So this becomes, now this is a imaginary part. So bar of I delta y becomes minus I delta y. So we will get here minus delta z. So from this equation 4, we will get limit delta z tends to 0, delta omega upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0, delta z bar upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0. Here delta z bar is minus delta z upon delta z, which is equals to minus 1. Okay. When delta z tends to 0, 0 horizontally, through this point we will get limit 1. And when delta z approaches 0, 0 vertically through this point on the imaginary axis, we will get limit minus 1. So here we will get two different limits, but limit is a unique. Therefore, d omega upon dz, which is equals to limit delta z tends to 0, delta omega upon delta z does not exist. Okay. Let us see next example. Consider the real valued function f of z is equals to mod z square. Here, delta omega upon delta z. Delta omega means f of z plus delta z minus f of z. So here f of z is mod z square. So this is modulus of z plus delta z square minus mod z square upon delta z. Okay. Simplify this, you will get 3. Okay. Horizontal and vertical approaches delta z towards the origin gave us when you take horizontal approach, okay, horizontally through the point delta order pair delta x comma 0, you will get delta z bar is equals to delta z. And if you take vertical approach towards the origin, you will get delta z bar is equals to minus delta z, as we have seen in previous example. Okay. Therefore, equation 1 becomes delta omega upon delta z is equals to z bar plus delta z plus z, when delta z is equals to delta x comma 0, and delta omega upon delta z is equals to z bar minus delta z minus z, when delta z is equals to 0 comma delta y. Okay. Hence, if the limit of delta omega upon delta z exists as delta z tends to 0, the uniqueness of the limit tells us that what? If you take delta z tends to 0, and uniqueness of limit tells us that z bar plus z is equals to z bar minus z, or here we will get z is equals to 0. Means what? The d omega upon dz cannot exist when z is not equals to 0. Means what? It is exist only when z is equals to 0. Now to show that d omega upon dz exists at z is equals to 0. If you put z is equals to 0 here, so you will get this delta omega upon delta z is equals to delta z bar. Okay. So delta omega upon delta z is equals to delta z, limit delta z tends to 0, delta omega upon delta z is delta z bar. So limit delta z tends to 0, delta omega upon delta z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0, delta z, obviously as delta z tends to 0, this limit will be 0. So d omega upon dz exists only at z is equals to 0. Remark: students, always remember that every differentiable function is continuous, but converse need not be true. Means what? Every continuous function need not be differentiable. For example, f of z is equals to mod z is continuous at each point in the complex plane, but it is not differentiable. Okay. Next topic is differentiation formula. Okay. The derivative of a function f at a point z is defined by either d by dz of f of z or f dash of z. Algebra of differentiable function. If f of z and g of z be two differentiable functions of z, then d by dz of f of z plus or minus g of z is equals to d by dz of f of z plus or minus d by dz g of z. Second one is d by dz of f of z into g of z is equals to g of z into d by dz f of z plus f of z into d by dz into g of z. And third is d by dz of f of z upon g of z is equals to g of z into d by dz of f of z minus f of z of d by dz of g of z upon g of z square. Okay. Next is chain rule for differentiating composite functions. Okay. Suppose that f has a derivative at point z0 and that g has derivative at the point f of z0. Then the function capital F of z, it's nothing but g of f of z has a derivative as z0 and f dash of z0 is equal to g dash of g dash of f of z0 into f dash of z0. If you write omega is equals to f of z and w is equals to g of omega, so we will get w, capital W is equals to capital F of z. The chain rule becomes dw upon dz is equals to dw upon d omega, because this w is a function of omega and omega is a function of z. So this becomes dw upon d omega into d omega upon dz. Okay. Let us see example based on this chain rule. Find the derivative of 2z square plus I raised to 5. Right. Take this is a omega. Omega is equals to 2z square plus I. So you will get w is equals to omega raised to 5. Here this w is a function of omega and omega is a function of z. So dw upon dz is equals to dw upon d omega into d omega upon dz, which is equals to dw of derivative of w with respect to omega is 5 omega raised to 4 into d omega upon dz. Okay. Put values of omega here. You will get 5 2z square plus I raised to 4 and derivative of this omega with respect to z is 4z. Okay. This is homework to you. Find derivative of given function. Okay. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you.